Welcome back to Devon Park. I'm Jim Flanagan here with you on Softball Premier TV. Another great matchup coming right up. This is a winner's bracket game between the Bear Creek Gremlins. They'll be taking on Kegel Black Knights, two top 10 teams. The Gremlins come in at number 2 ranked in the world. Kegel Black Knights at number 9. There you see the temperature, 34 degrees Celsius, somewhere north of 90 degrees Fahrenheit, a hot, muggy day. A little cooler where we are inside the booth. Here's the batting order for the visitors. Matthew Waugh will lead off. Jerome Remeke batting second. Ben Inoka will hit third. Eric Ochoa batting cleanup. Cole Evans will hit fifth. Lucio Redemar sixth. Brian Avery seventh. And Josh McGovern eighth. Ladislao Malarczuk in the 9 spot, just underway in this one. In the circle for the Kegel Black Knights, it's Carlos Parra, P-A-R-R-A, if you're keeping a scorecard with us at home. Defensively, we'll run through that in just a moment, but again, Matthew Waugh stepping in for the Gremlins. They are the defending champions in this event. They were the winners last year in Rockford, Michigan. They have won the tournament 9 times, just one shy of the record 10 set by the Clearwater Bombers. They've got 4 in a row. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the game progresses. Down in the coach's box at third, skipper Greg Leather. That's a high pop-up on the infield. Tommy Crouch over there at third. Falls down, does a little somersault, but comes up with the ball. Fighting off the sun over there, and a little bit of the conversion between the dirt and the grass. Watch the play. He's got a bead on it. Stays with it. And I think maybe caught his cleat on that lip over there. It's turf on the foul line infield. That is the areas around the coaches' boxes down around, wrapping around home plate. The rest of it is natural grass in the outfield, all of the playing surface. And then there's 2 little wedges down the foul lines further down away from home plate that are natural grass as well. So the first out recorded by Carlos Parra. It's Jerome Remeke steps in from the silver medal winning New Zealand Black Sox. A little slow roller out to second base. Shovels it, does Damon Creasy over to Tyler Damon at first. So 2 up and down quickly. You face a team like the Gremlins, offensive juggernaut. If you can record some outs early and keep them out of the big inning, you'll have a lot better success. Not many teams do over the course of the year against the Gremlins, but that certainly is a key. Here's Ben Inoka. Ben also a member of that silver medal team in the World Cup just last week. New Zealand falling to Venezuela, who won their first gold medal. Ben Inoka, a big part of that. We just finished the game with the Drillers and his brother Thomas, also a member of that squad. Ben, longtime veteran of the international program. We first saw him way back in 2008, so he has been at it for a while. A veteran of the game and still playing at the elite level. In for a called strike from Parra. Defensively, the Black Knights, it's Cody Smith in left, Logan Boom in center. Frank Kimlinger, member of the USA national team, over in right field. Changeup stays upstairs. Around the infield, Tommy Crouch, the veteran, over on the hot corner. Franco Ortellado from Argentina at short. Damon Creasy at second. And Tyler Damon over at first base. Jaden Stratford is the catcher for Parra. And Tyler Boulay is the DP in this one. Tyler, a product of the USA national team, played for the juniors up in Whitehorse back in 2014, and a member of the senior men's team in the prior cycle. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Inoka. 2 up and down quickly for Parra. That one's laced to center field. Inoka stays behind of it. He's got his first hit of the game. Here you watch it on the replay, stays on that back foot, just drives the ball right up the middle. Here's Eric Ochoa. Ochoa, a member of the USA bronze medal winning team last week at the World Cup, had himself quite a tournament. Finished up the day with a towering home run in the bronze medal game against Japan that put the game out of reach. They tell me the fences there in Prince Albert were much like these, the back fence about 300 or maybe even deeper, and Ochoa skipped the back fence with that towering home run late in the game to put it away. I'd call it a moon shot, but as I saw it, probably Mars is a better measuring stick. Great power, but also a great contact hitter up there. Swing and a miss on a good location pitch from Parra. One of the few places you can have success as a pitcher against Ochoa. Likes to go the other way. I call him a Tony Gwynn with power. He'll hit that 5.5 hole between short and third regularly. But as soon as you start playing him that way, he'll turn on one like he does right there. Little flare single into right field. Inoka round second. He'll scamper into third. So runners at the corner for the Gremlins. Ochoa at first, Ben Inoka over at third. Watch the replay, you'll see. Lifts it just over the head of Damon Creasy at second. Second hit of the inning for the Gremlins, trying to cash one in. Here's Cole Evans. Evans broke into the international circuit at the age of 16. He played for New Zealand in that 2015 World Championship. They were the silver medalists that year as well. Host Canada coming away with gold. But Evans was the starting shortstop at age 16. A lot of talk around the tournament then. Was he ready? Was he too young? And he proved all the naysayers wrong in that one. He's been at it ever since, now in his fourth or fifth cycle of international play. Had another great tournament up in Prince Albert. Grounder to the third, bobbles it, picks it up, bobbles it again. Coming home with a run is Inoka on the error. So Crouch just not able to come up with it cleanly, you see there on the replay. So charge the error and the run on it. Inoka in, that puts Ochoa down at second base with Evans at first. Here's Lucio Redemar. Hard one inside, misses. Redemar slightly built, but very good power. Had a couple of home runs last year in key moments. One of those against Marco Diaz up in Canada, winning a game and, as it turned out, a tournament that week. Foul tip in the dirt. Led off a game last year in the Port Huron tournament, facing Martin Gonzalez, who was pitching for the Drillers at the time. It was the only hit Gonzalez gave up, but it was a 1-0 ball game. Home run Redemar, the difference. Off the plate, away for a ball. Pretty good inning thus far for Parra. Got the first two batters without any trouble, then a couple of singles by Inoka and Ochoa, followed by the error turned into the run. Gremlins on top 1-0 here in the early going. Swing and a miss on the inside part of the plate. Good location by Para. Little roller out in front of the plate. Para picks it up, helps himself out nicely. Flips it over to Damon at first for the out. Side retired on the 1-3 put out. For the Gremlins, they get a run on a couple of hits and an error. We'll head to the home half of the first inning. Gremlins on top 1-0. We'll get our first look at the Kegel Black Knights right after this. Let's set the defense for the Gremlins for you. Familiar faces in familiar places. Matthew Waugh in left, Benny Noka in center. Ryan Avery over in right field. Avery spending most of his time the last couple of seasons as the catcher and third baseman. Finds himself in the outfield, showing off those versatile skills of his. The infield, Jerome Ramaki at third, Cole Evans at short, Ladislao Marlarzuk at second, and Eric Ochoa holding things down at first base. Josh McGovern, a new addition to this club this year behind the plate, and in the circle with the first pitch, Kuba Ositka from the Czech Republic. Just missing with that first pitch of the game. Frank Kimlinger at the plate for the Kegel Black Knights. Frank, as we mentioned, a member of that USA bronze medal team. He'll be followed by Franco Ortellado, Damon Creasy, and Jaden Stratford if we get that far. A little change-up in for a strike. Kuba, the youngster from the Czech Republic, stands about 6'4" or thereabouts. Never looks as tall when I'm sitting up here, but I had a chance to chat with him a little bit before the start of this game, and I have to say one of the few people that made me feel short, well-built right-hander, very strong youngster from the Czech Republic. Hard grounder to short, making easy work of it. Cole Evans over to Ochoa. Steady as she comes, Cole Evans at short. International fast pitch fans did not get to see the Czech Republic in last week's World Cup. They had played in the two prior World Championships but didn't qualify, so Kuba getting his work in elsewhere, one of the top pitchers on that European circuit. That one bounces off the glove of McGovern. They call it the Extra League over there in the Czech Republic. Michael Holobratic, well-known pitcher, also a teammate of Kuba's. Hard one to short, right at Cole Evans, up with it over to Ochoa. Deja vu, another 6-3 put out, two up and down quickly. It'll bring Damon Creasy to the plate, the second baseman for Kegel. Say a quick hello to Jacob Kopriva. If I'm mispronouncing that, Jacob, sorry. Jacob, one of the organizers of that 2019 World Championship over in Prague, Czech Republic. First time the international World Championships were played in Europe. We had a chance to join in on the broadcasts over there. We know Jacob's doing some scouting work and keeping an eye on all the young Czech Republic players coming up. Kuba already pretty well established here. We saw one of their young pitchers, Zelinka, pitching for the St. Louis Honey Badgers last night. More in the pipeline, we are told. For a time, it seemed like all the overseas talent was coming out of New Zealand, Australia. Then Argentina got its day. And of late, it's been the Czech Republic and so forth. Swing and a miss. Down goes Creasy. An easy inning for Kuba, Osika, and the Gremlins. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We played one complete. Gremlins on top, 1-0. You're watching the 2025 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship. Come on back, more great action on tap all day long. Top half of the second inning for the Gremlins. 7, 8, 9 in their batting order. That'll be Brian Avery, followed by Josh McGovern and Ladislao Malarczuk. Brian, a member of Canada's national team, hails from the Pacific Northwest up in the Vancouver, British Columbia area out on the West Coast. Off the plate is Parra with that one. Parra surrendering the one run last inning, couple of hits and an error that resulted in the run, but pitched pretty well against a very strong hitting Gremlin team. Avery, as we mentioned, primarily DP, plays third base, can catch, and finds himself in the outfield today, can play just about anywhere. Haven't seen him pitch. Defense for the Black Knights straight away. Outfielder standing right about 200 or 220 in center. We talked about another broadcast, that ridge line you see on the grass where the women's fence usually sits. 200 down the lines, 220 for the women. So that's pretty much where the outfielders have been parking themselves. Avery takes a walk to lead things off. That'll bring up Josh McGovern. McGovern, a member of Team Australia at the World Cup last week. He is a new addition to the Gremlins this year. Blake Hunter moving over to Hill United. So Josh McGovern coming from Hill United. Not a trade per se, but they've effectively swapped places. In for a called strike. The other catcher, of course, USA national team catcher Nick Mullins. So Nick getting a breather here, Josh getting the start. Both veterans of international competition at the highest level, so no drop off there. Misses inside, throw down to second's going to be wide. Second baseman Creasy goes flat out trying to flag it down, but Avery now down at second base. These two teams playing to try and get into that winner's bracket semifinal. That one going off tomorrow. The winner of this one will take on the number 3 ranked Northeast Drillers. This is inside, same location. Misses inside, same spot, same location. So trying to pound the ball down and in. Keep it out of the wheelhouse of McGovern. Working the same spot in the strike zone or just off the strike zone. Strike 3 called. McGovern down on strikes, so he continued to pound it. Finally got the call on that one. Down goes McGovern, first out of the inning. And to the 9 spot we go, Ladislao Malarczuk. Change up, stays upstairs, taken for a ball. Ladislao, one of the longest standing members of this Gremlin franchise. He's been around a better part of a decade or so. Has been showing more power in recent years. Don't let the 9 spot in the batting order fool you. Ball hit back to the pitcher. He'll go to third. Tommy Crouch has him caught in a rundown. Avery stuck in no man's land. Watch the replay. You'll see it. Ball hit back to the pitcher. He goes right to Crouch. Crouch runs Avery back and then flips over to second to apply the tag for the out. 2 outs. So a big out for Kegel. Trying to stay out of those big innings. Over to second base on the play. Goes Malarczuk, who had reached on the fielder's choice. So Laddie at second. And back to the top of the order, Matthew Waugh. All Matthew did at the World Cup last week for Team Canada was hit 4, count them, 4 home runs. He led the circuit. He led the World Cup in home runs with 4. Not your prototypical leadoff hitter, but very, very effective over the years for Team Canada. Throw down to second, and they threw behind him, and they get him, or thought they had him over at third. Looks like he may have avoided the tag. Tommy Crouch asking with the body language. Let's take a look at it. The throw came quickly, snap throw behind him. They threw to third, and I think they're saying that he got his foot to the bag before Crouch could apply the tag. So some good base running by Malarczuk. Keeps the inning alive for Matthew Waugh. Inside, misses with that one. Waugh, something like Tio Migliavaca is for the Drillers, an effective leader at the top of that order. He's the one that makes the engine go. Misses, it goes to the screen. And jogging home to score the second run. Home plate umpire talking to Matthew Waugh, I think telling him he was hit by the pitch. We'll catch the replay on that, but back to third goes Malarczuk, so I have to think that was the case. Looked like it clipped him, but maybe Matty wanted to stay at the plate or let the run score. Regardless, back to third goes Laddie. Over to first goes Matthew and Jerome Remaki at the plate. Jerome provided what may have been the most dramatic moment of the entire World Cup, that a 3-run walk-off home run for New Zealand, coming back to defeat the USA in that one. Fake throw to second. Now they've got Malarchuk caught in a rundown, and this time puts the tag on him at third and gets him. Tommy holding the glove on him to make sure. Got the tag, got the call. Watch the replay on it. Some clever work here by our catcher. Fakes a throw to second and catches Malarchuk a little too far off the bag at third. Back to Tommy Crouch for the out. Nice defensive play by catcher Jaden Stratford. Side retired. The Gremlins do not score. We'll head to the home half of the second inning. Kegel Knights coming back up. We'll be right back. Couple of top 10 teams going to head in this one. The winner advancing to a winner's bracket semifinal in this 2025 men's major. Kegel Black Knights coming to the plate trying to get even. The Gremlins scoring a run in the first. 2 hits and an error. That's the margin right now in the early going here, home half of the second inning. We talked about the great defensive play by Jaden Stratford, the catcher, to get the third out of the prior inning. Fake a throw to second, fire a throw back to third to get that third out. And here he is at the plate. Easy first inning for Kuba Osika. 1, 2, 3. So we're at the 4, 5, 6 spot of the order for the Black Knights. Stratford, Damon, and Tyler Boulay. Foul tip just about took the head off of Damon over there in the on-deck circle. Sometimes the hitters like to get in the opposite on-deck circle to avoid that situation. Damon's going to take a couple of steps further away from the dangerous Jaden Stratford. Swing and a miss, comes up empty. Defense for the Gremlins straight away, both corner infielders a step or two back of the bag and a couple of steps off the line. Swinging a foul tip, inside pitch, good location by Kuba. Ball high. The Gremlins in their black on black uniforms, I have to think a little bit warm on a day like today. 90 some degrees Fahrenheit, 30 plus Celsius. Shades of the New Zealand All Blacks, I suppose. Fair enough with 3 of the prominent players here from New Zealand. Evans and Ramaki in the infield, Benny Noka out in the outfield. Lays off the high one and Stratford works the walk. So Jaden giving his team a chance to move a runner around. Right now at the plate it's Tyler Damon. Damon, the first baseman for this Kegel team from North Dakota. First pitch swing and fouls that one out of play on the left side. Most of our fans here are hiding under the shade of the second set of bleachers to the rear. There's a nice breeze blowing through there when you can sit in the shade, much more comfortable than the hot benches downstairs on a hot Oklahoma afternoon. Misses inside with that one, does Kuba. Swing and a miss on a good one away from Damon. That pitch breaking from right to left on your dial. Line drive out to left center. Matthew Waugh will pick it up cleanly, throw it into second. Base hit for Tyler Damon and 2 runners aboard for Kegel. Pretty good charge into that one. Matthew wisely deciding not to try and shoestring it, catches it on one hop and plays it back in. Here's Tyler Boulay now. A couple of men aboard and a chance to get his team even. Shows bunt, pulls back. Ramaki moving forward. Cole Evans over to cover third. Tries to hold up, does not. They appeal the call to third and get it, so a strike on Boulay. Boulay from the Minnesota area. That one's pop fly right back towards our booth here. We're sitting on the second level up behind home plate. Best view in the house. And thanks to the cameras, Luciano Lofrano and Softball Premier, happy to share it with you. Laced down the left field line, but foul, out of play. Luciano Lofrano, sort of the adventurer of television production for men's fast pitch. He goes from town to town, from state to state, province to province, country to country, and we get to tag along with him, and glad that all of you do as well. Like one of those adventure shows you watched as a kid where the fellow has the passport and every time he goes to a new place they stamp it. We do that. He does that for Softball Premier TV. Brings you the live fast pitch action. High pop-up. That one's going to be out of play right in front of us. Change up, a good one, but it stays upstairs. Good idea from Kuba Osika. 2-2 now on Boulay. Tyler with good power. He can use all of the field, but likes to pull the ball if he gets one in the wheelhouse. Foul straight back. He'll stay alive. Count still 3-2. Stratford, the catcher, out at second. It's Damon over at first. Still nobody out in the inning. Boulay tries to hold up, and he can't. He's called out on strikes. Turns to the home plate umpire. I think he was asking, was it on the call or the swing? We'll take a look on the replay. Doesn't really matter. It's strike 3. Yeah, could have been either one on that. We'll let you decide. It's a strike out, the first out of the inning. Here's Tommy Crouch. Tommy, long-time Midwestern fastballer, a veteran of many years and many battles, still slugging away here for these Kegel Knights. In for a called strike out on the inside part of the plate. Good location by Kuba. Grounder to third. Ramaki goes to second, gets the first one over to first. Bang, bang, 5-4 to 3. Double play. 5-6. Side retired for the Kegel Black Knights. No runs. Hit. Man left to the top half of the third we go. You're watching the 2025 Men's Major from Devon Park in Oklahoma. We'll be back with more. Top half of the third inning for the Gremlins. Want to send a quick hello to our friend Greg Hicks. Greg, of course, one of the coaches of the USA national team, bronze medalists, longtime coach of these Gremlins. Greg, largely responsible for my work in broadcasting the last couple of years for those Gremlins. Greg, happy to have you in the audience out there enjoying the action. It is as hot as it looks, 90 plus here in OKC, 30 plus Celsius for those of you north of the border. Carlos Parra, the starter, still in the circle, just a 1-0 ball game, pitching very well is the young right-hander. So when the last out was made last inning, that was when Malarczuk got run down at third base. Ramaki at the plate and right back there right now. So he'll start it off. He catches a hit by pitch ball under his elbow, flips it back to the defense and takes his way down to first base. It was a hit by pitch last season that put Jerome out for most of the year. Got hit by a hard one from Marco Diaz. Missed the season, but he's back in good form already. Anyone that saw that big 3-run walk-off homer knows he's already swinging it well. Here's Benny Noka. Eric Ochoa waiting on deck. So the heart of this Gremlin order. Swing and a miss on a good drop ball away from the right-hander. Ben nodding his head as if to say, yeah, got me on that one. Inoka with a hit in his first at-bat. Lifts that one into center field. It's going to stay up, though. Center fielder Logan Boom ranges over to his left to make the catch. Put a good charge into that one, did Ben. Back to first, or staying at first, is Remaki. And it'll be Eric Ochoa stepping in. Eric with a single to right field last time up. Helped set up the one run that did score. Reaches for that one away. Comes up empty. Ball stays upstairs. Ochoa looks it off. Cole Evans will be next. High fly ball to center, shallow and playable. Once again, it's Logan Boom camps under it. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So a couple of fly outs induced by Carlos Parra, young right-hander for these Kegel Black Knights. Here's Cole Evans, reached on the error that led to the run back in the first inning for the Gremlins. That's the margin right now. Evans with that wide open stance, looks at a ball off the outside part of the plate. So Evans with a wide stance, looking perhaps to get something in or over the plate. Parra working away. Wise move. A little spinner. That one comes on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. Foul ball down the left field line. Left it inside. Evans just fighting it off. Off the plate away, Stratford, good snag on that one, keeping the ball from going to the backstop. Two balls, two strikes on Cole Evans. Cole 6 hits in last week's World Cup, couple of doubles, couple of home runs. So plenty of power in the bat. Change up and a beauty, just froze him. Great pitch by Carlos Parra to get out of the inning. Side retired. For the Gremlins in the inning, no runs, no hits, a man left. We go to the home half of the third inning, still 1-0 Gremlins. Kegel Black Knights giving them all they can handle. We'll be back with more great action. Don't go away.
It's time.
Home half of the third inning for the Kegel Black Knights. Kuba Osika back in the circle. He puts down a bunt back to Kuba. Comes up firing to Ochoa for the out. So Cody Smith trying to catch the Gremlins napping, but Kuba with some good defense to help himself out. That'll take us to the 9 spot in the batting order. Center fielder Logan Boom. Boom getting plenty of work defensively last inning with a couple of flyouts off the bats of Inoka and Ochoa. Boom from a fast pitch family up in that Minnesota area, if I recall correctly. Brothers and others all in the game. That's a ball on the outside edge. Boom didn't like the call, but down on strikes he goes. 2 quick outs recorded by Osikta, who has been, if not overpowering, very effective out there thus far against the Black Knights. Back to the top of the order we go. Frank Kimlinger. Kimlinger 0 for 1, grounded out his first time up. Cole Evans backpedaling, fighting off the sun, makes the catch going away. Easy, short, quick inning for Kuba Osika. And the Gremlins up and down 3. No runs, no hits. We'll be back with the top half of the 4th right after this.
I look up to 3 women, actually. Kat Osterman, Amy Dill Bradford, and Megan Denny White.
One person I looked up to is Jocelyn Allo.
It would be Jordy Bogg.
Someone I look up to in softball is Aaliyah Andrews. I really look up to Erin Koffel.
Lisa Fernandez.
A woman in sports I look up to is Sis Bates.
I think Odyssey Alexander is a big one because of her demeanor, just the way she carries herself on the mound.
Because of the way she plays her game.
When I was 6 years old and decided to start pitching, she's who I look up to and still look up to till this day.
I've been a fan of hers since I was really young. I just really like how she plays the game.
I know she probably had a lot of people that doubted her. There's a lot of people that have doubted me, and she pushed through and succeeded. Just very determined to do amazing in what she does.
She's really paved the way for young girls in Hawaii to have that dream to be here, and that's really helped me and pushed me. Because she shows the value of how the outfield is just as important as infield. It inspires me to be energetic and have passion about the game.
It gives me motivation that if I put my mind to do something that I can do it.
Because I strive to be a leader like her.
I love how much range she has, and I just love her energy and the way she's allowed others to play with that kind of energy.
Enjoying the video there in between innings, the USA women's softball program. Remember those faces, remember those numbers. You'll see them in 3 years on this field when the LA Olympics, LA 28, brings World Olympic coverage here at Devon Park. Swing and a miss, Redemar comes up empty. For the Gremlins, it's 6, 7, and 8 spots in their order. That's Redemar, Avery, and McGovern. Redemar tapped out to the pitcher Para, who is keeping his Black Knight team in this ball game. Just the 1 run scored back in the first on the error. Bounces that one in the dirt. Jason Stratford doing a pretty good job behind the plate there. Very athletic catcher, and already one very good play that he made, a fake throw to second and then a throw back to third to catch the runner. Meanwhile, Para does what Kuba did, leads off the inning with a hit batter. Osika hit so down at first is Redemar. Avery stepping in now. Josh McGovern and Ladislao Malarzouk to follow. So something you don't like to do if you're the Kegel Black Knights, give a free pass and a leadoff one at that. Nobody out and Redemar down at first base. Grounder out to short. He's going to go to first for the out. Good decision. Redemar already to second base by the time he caught it. So a 6-3 put out. That moves the runner up. You can see on the replay, Redemar getting a pretty good jump off of first base. Stop for a moment. The only real play he had was to go to first base. Gets the out. Skipper Greg Leather and the trainer Samantha Carter is going to come over and take a look at the wrist, I think, of Redemar. Took a pretty good jolt from that hit by pitch. They want to make sure he's okay. Plenty of horses on the bench for the Gremlins if they need it. It's a long weekend, lots of games, so Skipper Greg Leather making sure he's okay, as is their trainer. She travels along with the team. Nice to have someone like that to look after the players. It's a long season sometimes. Inside pitch misses with that one. It's Josh McGovern at the plate. Malarczuk will be next. Missing inside with that one is Parra. That one's in for a called strike. We've got a score to report. If you missed the action on the other diamond, if you have been watching the games here on OGE, the main field, JDT a winner over Bear Creek Express. That was a winner's bracket game. Ball hit down to third. Crouch looks Redemar back to second, fires over to first for the out. So 2 outs recorded, a couple of ground outs. Still at second base is Redemar, and it'll be up to Ladislao Malarczuk to try and get him home. JDT came into the tournament as the number 5 rank, so they've knocked off number 4. They will advance to a winner's bracket semifinal, that against Hill United tomorrow. And as we said, the winner of this one will face the Northeast Drillers. So the list of undefeated teams dwindling here as we move into Friday afternoon and evening. Changeup stays upstairs, misses. Grounder right back to Parra. He'll pick it up on 2 hops, make the easy play over to first base. Good inning for the right-hander Carlos Parra after hitting the leadoff hitter. Comes back and gets 3 consecutive ground outs, and the side retired. Good job by the Kegel Black Knights. We go. We'll be back with more great action from here at Devon Park in the OKC. Sunny skies in Oklahoma. We'll be back. Home half of the fourth inning for Kegel Black Knights, back to the 2, 3, 4 spots in their batting order. That's Franco Ortellado, Damon Creasy, and Jaden Stratford, the catcher, coming up. Showing bunt on the first pitch, but pulling back is Ortellado. Franco hails from Argentina. Cuba, as we mentioned, from the Czech Republic. He was the starter and is still in the game, as is his counterpart Carlos Parra in this 1-0 game. Line shot out to left field. Matthew Waugh gets a beat on it, takes a step or two to his right, and drags it in. Well hit ball by Ortellado. Here's Damon Creasy for the Kegel Black Knights with 1 out and nobody aboard. Right down the heart of Main Street with that one for a called strike. Brian Avery out in right field, giving Creasy plenty of room. He's standing right around we refer to it as the women's fencing line, around 200 feet. A little bit deeper than his counterparts in left and center. Swing and a miss, comes up empty on that one. Good location away from the right-hander, Creasy. So 2-2 now. Foul tip right back to the screen. Just about had that one. So the count stays right there at 2-2. Damon Creasy against Cuba Osica. Fouled in the dirt. Strike 3 called on the outside part of the plate. Good location by Cuba. So he gets the second out quickly. This game moving along at a better pace than most of the other ones in the tournament thus far. It's been a very competitive tournament thus far. A couple of the unranked teams starting yesterday, giving the high-ranked teams all they could handle in some close games. Laced to left field. That one's going to fall in front of Matthew Waugh. And Stratford continuing to impress me among others. Good piece of hitting there by the right-handed catcher. For the Black Knights, that'll bring Tyler Damon up. 2 outs and a runner aboard. You had the Honey Badgers last night, a 3-2 loser to the Northeast Drillers. But the Drillers continuing to advance in the tournament. Honey Badgers came in unranked, played some great defense, and played even up with the Drillers through most of that game. Pueblo Bandits winning last night, then coming out against Hill United. And Hill United had a lead that nearly disappeared in the late innings. They had to bring Marco Diaz in the 6th to get an out and then close things out in the 7th. But they played Hill very tough. And now Kegel, number 9 ranked team, given the Gremlins fits here. It's just a 1-0 margin for the Gremlins. Swing and a miss, quick snap throw down to Ochoa, back in time. I guess the point of all that is to say, obviously the games are decided on the field, and sometimes you can throw those rankings out the window. Sometimes an inspiration to play those higher ranked teams when you are not, or when you are lower ranked. Lots of motivation to try and beat the best of the best. Foul, tipped that one down in the dirt. Off the plate outside, McGovern trying to sell it as a strike. 3-2 now, full count to Damon. Grounder in the hole. Evans comes up with it somehow, not able to get the runner. But a great defensive play by shortstop Cole Evans. That ball had base hit all over it. Watch the replay if we can. Deep, deep into the hole goes Cole Evans. Sometimes gets to balls that nobody else can touch. Off balance, back throw. Not in time, though. Kegel with 2 aboard. And Tyler Booley with a chance to get his team even. So Stratford, the catcher, the runner out at second base. Damon over at first. 2 outs in the inning. Kuba Osika got the first 2 easily. Now finds himself standing in front of the potential tying run in the form of Jaden Stratford. In for a called strike. Looked like Booley saw the pitch all the way, just watched it into the glove. Apparently not the one that he wants to hit. Looking for something he can drive, no doubt. Just missing off the plate outside. Inside, misses with that one. Tommy Crouch waiting on deck, but right now the game is at the plate with Boulay against Kuba Osika. Swing and a miss. Good pitch away from the left-hander. Little extra oomph on that pitch from Kuba. Comes off the field to some high fives. So the Gremlins get out of trouble there in the 5th. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hey everyone, I'm Amanda Lorenz from the women's national team. My journey as a female athlete started when I was 5 years old, just a crazy kid with a lot of energy. My parents put me in softball to hopefully channel some of that energy positively, and I just absolutely fell in love with competing and being around friends and learning, and I'm just so thankful that they put me in softball because the love has grown from there. Some barriers that I've faced from being a female athlete is feeling like I'm one of the ones at the top of my game, but not feeling like we can really build a living off of that. So having to juggle some different jobs to keep training and trying to stay at the best of my sport while trying to make money to live. When I think about the future of women's sports, I get so excited because the opportunities keep growing year after year, and I'm just so thankful for the ones that came before me, because I feel like my generation is the one really benefiting from all of their work. So I just keep seeing more opportunities, more money, and the ability for us to play the sport for as long as possible. Young girls starting out in sports, my advice to you is to keep going, be passionate. It is so cool to be a female athlete. So take that and run with it. It's so cool to be passionate and keep getting after it.
Where do you see the future of fast pitch softball? Right here at Devon Park is where we see it. 2025 men's major national championship going on. Play will continue at this field for the next 3 years, culminating in the Olympics in 2028. A lot going on in between now and then. This facility, the USA Softball Program, hosting the Women's College World Series and lots of other great events. It's the premier location for fast pitch softball, and we are happy and delighted to be here bringing it to you. To the top of the order in the Gremlins, it'll be Matthew Waugh, followed by Ray Maki and Ben Inoka here in the fifth. Still a 1-0 ball game. The Gremlins 1 run on 3 hits. The Kegel Black Knights no runs on 3 hits. The biggest number on that scoreboard, the 1 error that led to the 1 run. That's the difference in the game. Matthew, we mentioned one of the best leadoff hitters in the game, but we also noted the 4 home runs he hit last week at the World Cup in Prince Albert. He was the leader in that category. So not an easy out by any measure. Matthew, 4 homers in that tournament, 10 RBI, 7 hits in 16 at-bats. That's a great tournament for anyone. Right now he works a walk, though, so he'll be aboard with nobody out in the heart of the order for the Gremlins coming up. Here's Jerome Remeke stepping in, nobody out. Looks at a pitch low for a ball. Jerome had 4 hits in that World Cup matchups last week in Prince Albert, but certainly none bigger than the 3-run walk-off home run to defeat the USA. They were trailing at the time, and Jerome launched it. One of the biggest celebrations after that one by his teammates. Laced to right field on a line, but right at Frank Kimlinger. Kimlinger makes the catch for out number 1. Jerome got a pitch in, turned on it. We'll get another look on that replay. Not the greatest pitch location for Parra, right in his wheelhouse, but the ball stayed up. Kimlinger making the catch for the out. Here's Benny Noka. Quick snap throw down to first, and Stratford continues to be a very aggressive catcher behind the plate, trying to keep those runners honest. Lifted out into center field, giving chase out there. Moving to his left as Logan Boom runs it down. Backing up on the play was Kimlinger. Kimlinger, great wheels out there. Got all the way behind center fielder Logan Boom just in case. So after the leadoff walk to Waugh, 2 quick fly ball outs, it'll be up to Eric Ochoa to try and add an insurance run for his Gremlins. Little nubber out to the pitcher, Parra. Quick work, 1-3 on your scorecard. 3 quick outs after the leadoff walk, side retired. Carlos Parra holding the Gremlins to just 1 run. To the home half of the 5th we go. We'll be back with more right after this. Seven, 8, 9 for the Kegel Black Knights in the home half of the 5th inning, chasing 1 run. That's the margin right now. Perhaps taking some inspiration from the effort they're getting from their right-handed pitcher, Carlos Parra. He is pitching a whale of a game against a very strong offensive team in the Gremlins. Tapper back to Kuba Osika. He'll go the short way over to Ochoa, first out of the inning. To the 8th spot we go, Cody Smith. He had a ground out to the pitcher last time up. So this is his second look at Kuba Osika. Ball high, stays upstairs. In for a called strike. So if you're following the bracket, the winner's bracket that is, winner's bracket semifinals tomorrow. It will be Hill United, the number 1 ranked team. A flare into right field. That's going to split the gap. Hustling around the bag and thought about second. But heads back to first. Cody Smith aboard with a 1-out single. Looked like a pitch out over the plate. Just went with it. You see here the right-hander just taking it into the gap in right center field. The batter, Logan Boom, called out on strikes his first time up. Shows bunt, then pulls back, but it's in for a called strike. Shows bunt again, doesn't get it down, but it's a called strike nonetheless. Just finishing that note on the bracket. So the winner's semi, it'll be number 1 Hill against number 5 JDT, who beat number 4 Bear Creek today. And in the other end, the other winner's bracket semi tomorrow, the number 3 Northeast Drillers have qualified. They'll take on the winner of this one, which features number 2 Gremlins and number 9 Kegel changeup. way out in front. And down on strikes goes Boom. Second strikeout of Boom in the game. Back to the top of the order, Frank Kimlinger. Kimlinger, ground ball and a fly out. Swing and a miss late on that one. Good extra velocity from Osika. And on the outside edge, Osika really letting the ball fly the last couple of pitches. Kuba came up in the youth program, U23 and so forth, but is really growing into a senior level pitcher. That one's lifted high and deep into center field, continuing to backpedal right up against the fence is Benny Noka. He makes the catch. That ball carried. Didn't look like it was going to carry that far to me when it came off the bat. Catch the replay if we can. But Benny Noka, Ben didn't turn and run back. He just kept backpedaling further and further. You can see there's the almost to the warning track out there and right up against the pad. So side retired. Still a 1-0 ball game. We'll be back with more. Top half of the sixth inning for the Gremlins. Start things off. It'll be Cole Evans. He'll be followed by Lucio Redemar and Brian Avery. Still just a 1-run margin. The Gremlins scoring that run in the first inning. 2 quick outs by Parra in that inning. A couple of base hits by Inoka and Ochoa. And then a hard grounder. That one's in for a single. It was Evans hitting the ball to short in that first inning. Turned into an error and a run, but he's aboard with a potential insurance run. Here is Lucio Redemar. Redemar grounded out to the pitcher and then got hit by a pitch pretty hard on the wrist. Stayed in the game, made it as far as second base, but 3 consecutive ground outs recorded by the Kegel Black Knights ended the scoring threat. Last inning got a leadoff walk, did the Gremlins, and then 3 consecutive outs, a couple of fly balls, and a tapper to the pitcher. So Parra, when he's needed to, has been able to pitch out of trouble. Third inning in a row, though, they've had the leadoff batter aboard. I'm sure Kegel is happy that they've been able to get out of the first 2 scoring threats after giving up a leadoff runner. But against a team like the Gremlins, you can only do that so many times. At some point, they're going to push one through. So Parra really going to have to bear down in this inning. Low for a ball. foul tip, that one going back to the screen. Swing and a miss by Redemar. He's down on strikes for the first out, so a big strikeout recorded by Parra. Evans over at first base, runs pretty well. We call him a veteran. It's hard to remember, still just in his mid-20s. Started back in 2015 World Cup cycle at age 16. So a veteran he may be, but still a youngster and runs well. Brian Avery at the plate. Avery ground out to the pitcher his last time up. Lays off the changeup, but it's in for a called strike. Good pitch selection by Stratford. Good location by Parra. Way outside, quick snap throw by Stratford keeps Evans right at the bag. Grounder in the hole between short and third. It's a base hit. Evans now will alertly head to third base when left fielder Cody Smith doesn't pick it up cleanly. And Brian Avery likewise hustling over to be at second base. So instead of first and second, it's now second and third. Watch the replay. Good hit between short and third, but he didn't pick it up cleanly. And the Gremlins running with their heads up take advantage of it, pick up 60 feet of real estate. Evans over at third, Avery at second. Still one out. That'll bring a conference to the circle. We'll take a moment. So a pinch runner for Avery at second. It'll be Tane Mumu taking his place. So great wheels in the form of Tane. Skipper Greg Leather deciding he's going to go for all of the runs he can get. Tired of nursing that one-run lead. Throw to the plate, not in time, in safely. That was Zenon Winters, by the way, I believe, or was it? Don't get the announcements up on top, but left-hander. See if we can pick up the number from here. The result is a run for the Gremlins. Safe at home is Cole Evans. Over to third goes Tane Mumu. And it is indeed Zenon Winters over at first base who came in to bat for McGovern. You put the ball in play, things will happen, and Zenon Winters proving that. Big insurance run for the Gremlins here in the sixth. Malarczuk is the batter. He reached on a fielder's choice and a ground out to the pitcher. He's 0 for 2. Home plate umpire is giving Jaden Stratford a minute. Looks like he's stretching a bit, maybe cramping up back there. As we said, 90-plus degrees Fahrenheit, 30-plus Celsius. It's been a warm day, especially when you're wearing the tools behind home plate. Down and inside. Good to see Zenon Winters out here again this season, the senior member of this Gremlin team. Longtime member of Australia's national team, one of the top players to come out of that area. He's at first. Tane Mumu with great speed down at third. Gremlins would like to get another. Ball stays upstairs, and Malarzouk will take the walk. Zenon Winters moving up to second base. Bases loaded for the Gremlins. Back to the top of the order, Matthew Waugh. The inning started with a base hit by Cole Evans. He came around to score on the ball batted by Zenon Winters. Two runs on 6 hits for the Gremlins. No runs on 4 hits for the Kegel Black Knights. The skipper for the Black Knights out to talk to the pitchers and his defense. Home plate umpire joins the fray. Candlesticks make a nice gift. Let's play ball. Still one out in the inning. Bases loaded for the Gremlins. Matthew Waugh at the plate. Laced to second base and grabbed by Damon Creasy. That had 2 runs all over it. Nice defensive play by the second baseman. Hard hit ball off the bat of Waugh. Watch it on the replay. Looked like it was going to be in the hole. Fully extends and grabs it. Parra looking for one more out. No easy feat with Jerome Raymaki standing at the plate. Ball high. Foul down the left side. Raymaki puts both contact hitting and power in the same package. Not the guy you want to see at the plate right now if you're Carlos Parra, but Parra has done a masterful job up to this point in keeping the Gremlins off balance. Just the 1 run in the first and 1 in this inning. A key matchup here against Raymaki. Ball high, pitching carefully to Jerome. An out here would get Kegel back in the dugout and keep the game close. A hit by Raymaki could break it open. Two-one pitch from Parra. Swing and a miss right by Raymaki. Great location by the right-hander. Showing a lot of poise right now. Very methodically working as Parra looked over his shoulder after the last pitch. Not sure if he was looking to see where the outfielders were or where the flags were blowing. They're blowing out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Parra pitches himself out of a bases-loaded jam. Great location on the pitch. Outstanding job in the game thus far by Carlos Parra. 2-0 Gremlins. They do add an insurance run to the home half of the 6th. We'll go. Early getting late for the Black Knights. 6 outs remaining. You're watching the 2025 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship from OKC. We'll be back with more. Home half of the sixth inning for the Kegel Black Knights, and if you've been watching the screen, you see the pitching change for the Gremlins. None other than Jack Besgrove coming on in relief of Kuba Osika. Skipper Greg Leather wanting to go with his ace here in the sixth inning. Much like Hill United did earlier today, having to bring Diaz in to close things out against the Bandits. Greg Leather not wanting to take any chances. Goes to the ace. Enough times through the batting order for Osika, and these fellows will have to look at someone else. Very different pitching style. Great location on that one. Swing and a miss by Ortellado. We're at the 2, 3, 4 spots in the order. Ortellado, Creasy, and Stratford. Not only a difference in style, but obviously coming from the left side. Besgrove and McGovern teammates on Team Australia. Very comfortable together. That one goes off the top of his glove to the screen. Besgrove already in his young career, gold medals all across the mantle. U18, U23, men's senior gold medal in 2022. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball against Ortellado. First out recorded, a big one for the Gremlins. Australia not able to repeat in 2025. They were the defending champions going into the World Cup tournament last week at Prince Albert. They didn't make the super round this time, but they were a finalist. And we'll be back, I'm sure, for many more of them. Besgrove, one of the youngest players in that circuit, having just turned 21 last year. Hard inside for a called strike, a little more velocity than they've been looking at. One hopper to Evans. Evans to Ochoa. 2 outs. So Jack Besgrove not wasting any time as he comes into the game in relief. 2 quick outs. Kegel now down to their final 4 outs. Jaden Stratford will step in. Jaden with a base hit last time up. That, of course, against Osika. His first look at Jack Besgrove. Off the plate away for a ball. Ball low, 2-0. Tyler Damon would be next if Stratford could reach. Fouled out of play over on the right side. Winner of this game advancing to a winner's bracket semifinal against the Drillers tomorrow. That game going off at 12 noon, same time as the other winner's bracket semi, Hill United and JDT First Energy, who beat Bear Creek earlier today. Two-two count. Bestgrove looking for the final out of the inning, or perhaps the final strike and out. Off the plate away. So the count runs full, 3-2. Stratford doing his best to make Bestgrove work. Now steps out of the box and has time. And off the plate outside, and Stratford is aboard for the third time today. He had walked back in the second, had the single in the fourth, and now a walk here in the sixth. Tyler Damon will step in. He's 2 for 2, a couple of hits. One to left and had that ball deep in the hole, the infield single that Cole Evans flagged down. So the most productive hitter for these Kegel Black Knights today. Ball missing inside, and Josh McGovern going to go out and have a word with Jack. Bestgrove retired the first two hitters quickly, then the walk to Stratford. Now McGovern sees something that he wants to talk to Jack about. Sometimes just a matter of going out and pressing the reset button. 2-0. Swing and a miss on a good hard one from Bestgrove. Maybe the advice to Jack, just let it fly. Hard one down the heart of Main Street. I think indeed that may have been the advice. Sometimes you walk someone and you fall behind. You start getting a little too fine, trying to spot the ball, when your strength is just to rear back and throw strikes the natural way. Change up and a beauty just about had Damon. Good idea by McGovern. Count runs 2-1 now. 2-2, excuse me. Hard one off the outside part of the plate, and aboard with a walk is Damon. So Kegel Black Knights not going quietly into the Knights. So back-to-back walks to Stratford, and Damon will bring Tyler Boulay to the plate. Boulay 0 for 2 in the day, a couple of strikeouts against Cuba. His first look at Jack Bestgrove. But if you're Kegel, you want someone that can hit the ball in the gap and drive it. Give these runners a chance to move around the bases. Boulay is a good one. Misses inside with that one. The disadvantage, of course, Booley being a left-hander, so having to work against the left-hander Besgrove, not as easy as it might be for a right-hander. Right down the heart of Main Street with that one. In for a called strike, 1-2. Once again, Besgrove looking for that final out or the final strike and out. Swung on and missed, but the ball gets away, goes to the backstop. Up with it is McGovern over to Ochoa in time to record the out. So Besgrove pitches out of trouble. Boulay on the strikeout. Side retired for the Kegel Black Knights in the 6th. No runs, no hits, 2 men left. We've played 6 complete. Gremlins on top, 2-0. Come on back and watch the end of this one. You've been watching the 2025 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship. Back for more right after this. Top half of the 7th inning for the Gremlins. A pitching change for the Kegel Black Knights. Mike Jamison coming on in relief of Carlos Parra. Parra, an outstanding effort, surrendered just 2 runs and the 6 hits. That one thrown behind Inoka. We're a long way away from the field, but it looked like he was smiling about it. Not sure if it was intended that way or just a reaction to missing the plate by so much. Don't think he was throwing at Inoka, certainly not in a game like this with the score where it is. Heart of the order for the Gremlins, 3, 4, 5, Inoka, Ochoa, and Evans. Pitcher's nightmare. Right down the heart of Main Street with that one. Parra pitching very well, so I suppose some people may say if he was pitching that well, why make a pitching change? But you look at the scorecard and you see that most all of the Gremlin batters have had 3 at-bats against him, and maybe tempting fate to try and get through another round. Ball stays upstairs, and Inoka takes the walk. So once again, the Gremlins with the leadoff batter aboard. Fourth time today they've done that. Here comes Eric Ochoa. Always the risk you take with someone coming up off the bench like Jamison. He hasn't been in the game, hasn't been pitching, so does it take him an inning to adjust or get warmed up? First pitch against Ochoa in for a strike, though. Eric 1 for 3 on the day, had a single back in the first inning. Part of that rally that produced the one run, it was Inoka and Ochoa with base hits, and then Cole Evans, a hard grounder, got the run home. Change up laced into right field. Ochoa stayed back on it. Meanwhile, Inoka comes in standing at third base, and Kimlinger comes up with a pretty nice throw to third. Made it a little closer than I think Inoka might have expected. Benny was off to the races, rounded second. He had third in mind. Watch Kimlinger come up with it. Good hard throw. Just a little bit behind Inoka. Eric Ochoa with his second hit of the day. Good piece of hitting. Just stayed back on the changeup. Looks like we'll see a runner for Eric. Try and pick up that number over there. Abayardo Penuelas, the youngster from Mexico, joined the club last year and put on quite a show in Ashland, Ohio in his first tournament ever with the Gremlins. Came out and got 3 hits on the first day and really turned some heads, regarded as one of the fine young players in the game. Similar to perhaps to the Solario brothers, Jordan from the Drillers. So the Gremlins with runners at the corners, Cole Evans at the plate. They'd like to cash in another insurance run. In for a call strike. Skipper Greg Leather deciding to put more speed over at first for Ochoa. You've got the horses. You want to put them out. Let them out. Run. Runners at the corners for the Gremlins. Still nobody out. Off to the races goes Manuelas. That one's hit over the head of left fielder Cody Smith. He recovers in time to pick it up on a hop, but not before 2 runs come in for the Gremlins. Benny Noka coming around to score, and Abayardo Penuelas right behind him. So 2 big runs when Kegel could least afford it. Now 4-0 margin. Over to second base on the double by Cole Evans, driving in 2 on that one. Ball off the plate to Redemar. Credit Cody Smith. The ball was over his head, but as soon as he realized that he recovered quickly, could have been an inside the Parker for Evans, but he kept him at second by getting the ball back in. That one's hit to deep center field. It's going to carry right on up against the fence and out of here. Logan Boom ran as far as he could up against that 250-foot fence, but ran out of real estate. Lucio Redemar adds 2 more for the Gremlins, now a 6-0 margin. So the double by Evans and the home run by Redemar. Watch on the replay, you'll see. Wasn't sure that it was going to get out. Neither was Logan Boom. On a dead run, went as far as he could and just out of his reach as he collided with the pads out there. So 6-0 Gremlins. Brian Avery, the batter. So you take your chances. You make a pitching move like that, and sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't. You have to say for the Kegel Black Knights on this day, it has not. Flag still blowing out away from home plate, so if the ball needed any extra juice to get out, a little extra was the difference on that one for Redemar. 2-run double by Evans, 2-run homer by Redemar, 4 runs in the inning. Bases empty, so pressure off. But Kegel Black Knights now looking up the hill at a 6-0 margin. Little flare in the infield. It'll be Damon Creasy fighting off the sun. Makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting number 12, Josh McGovern.
Josh McGovern will step in, so that means a re-entry. Remember, it was Zenon Winters that came in the prior at-bat, so Josh re-entered. Ball downstairs low. Ladislao Malarczuk waiting in the wings on deck. Winner of this game will advance to the winners bracket semifinal. That one at noon tomorrow. Take on the Northeast Drillers, who won their contest today. Drillers are now 2-0. The Gremlins got a first-round bye, so they currently stand at 1 win. Both of those winners bracket semifinals, by the way, going off at noon tomorrow. That's Saturday. Peter Lobardaitis will have the game on this field, the Hill United JDT game. Swing and a miss on that one by McGovern, comes up empty. The other game will be played down on field number 4 off in the distance behind left field. I believe that'll also be streamed just without broadcast crew. That one hits McGovern. So the inning started with the ball thrown behind Benny Noka, and that one plunked McGovern. Looked like Jamison wandered over towards first just to let him know it wasn't intentional. Time is out. I think they're talking about whether someone will run for McGovern. We mentioned Zenon Winters hit in that spot in the order, so don't know how many more horses they have in the stable down there. Or if maybe they're just going to give him a breather. So a runner for McGovern, no report. We'll see if we can get that number and pass that along to you. Eric Chaparro, if I was going to say a face that I'm not familiar with, I know the face, but not as a gremlin. Eric Chaparro comes on to run. Eric, a fine pitcher from Venezuela. I guess it pays to buy the program when you come into the ballpark. New faces added now and again. Malarczuk takes that one high for a ball. So 3-0. Jamison behind against Malarczuk. Can't afford any more base runners. And he hits Malarczuk. So the wheels seem to be coming off for the Kegel Black Knights after an outstanding effort through 6 innings. 4 runs in already. A couple of hit batters back to back. not what the skipper had in mind when he inserted Jamieson to start the inning. Here's Matthew Waugh, still just 1 out in the inning. Ball high. That one in for a called strike. Jamieson body language showing a little bit of frustration, I'm sure, with the last two batters, the hit by pitch. Changeup lifted out into deep center field, giving chase is Boom over by the warning track again, runs that one down. Good defensive play by the center fielder, Boom. So 2 outs in the inning. And it'll be Jerome Remeke stepping in for the Gremlins with 2 aboard. Malarzouk over at first, Eric Chaparro at second base. Pitch is upstairs, taken for a ball. Sometimes you give up a couple of big hits like that, you just lose your concentration. It looked like that's exactly what happened to Jamieson with the 2 hit batters. You start trying to overthrow the ball and it doesn't go where you intend it to, so not easy to get through this Gremlins lineup. No easy outs to be found. Off the plate, but on the edge for a called strike. Good location by Jamieson, a little finer with that pitch. So he's ahead on a hitter. 1-2 against Remeke. High and playable out in center field. Once again, Logan Boom camps under it, makes the catch for out number 3. So the Tide retired, but not before the damage done. 4 big runs on the board for the Gremlins in the inning. A 2-run double by Evans, a 2-run homer by Lucio Redemar. Jack Besgrove walks back to the circle. He'll need 3 outs to close this out and put his Gremlins into that winner's bracket semifinal tomorrow at noon. Home half of the 7th inning, and the Kegel Black Knights, looking up at that scoreboard, have to be kicking themselves. They kept the game close for 6 innings, giving up a 4 spot. Now looking at the hill of 6 runs to climb. 7, 8, 9 in the order for the Black Knights. That's Tommy Crouch leading things off. Cody Smith to follow and Logan Boom after that. Defensive change for the Gremlins. Abelardo Penuelas playing at third base now. He entered the game for Ochoa. Jerome Remeke started at third. He's now at first base. So the infield, Penuelas at third, Evans at short, Malarzouk still at second, and it's Remeke over at first. Liner right at Remeke. So playing it perhaps like he does at third. Used to balls coming off the bat quickly, right at him. Good reaction time. 1 out. Good hard hit ball by Tommy Crouch, but nothing to show for it. 1 out. Cody Smith at the plate. Smith with a couple of ground outs today. Those came against Kuba Osika. First look he's had at Bestgrove. In for a call, strike on the outside part of the plate. Swing and a miss on the rise ball. Down on strikes goes Cody Smith. 2 outs in the inning.
Now batting number 41, Logan Boom.
We talked about some of the unranked or lower ranked teams pressing the leaders at the top of that heap, but at this point the ranking committee can tip their cap and say they have been pretty much right throughout. Tomorrow's semifinals. Swing and a miss on that one by Logan Boom. One of the winners bracket semis is a 1 versus 5. Number 1 Hill United, number 5 JDT. And if this lead of the Gremlins holds, it would be number 2 Gremlins facing number 3 Northeast Drillers. Both games at noon tomorrow, both right here on Softball Premier TV. Swing and a miss on that one. Strike 3, ball game. Final score in this one, the Bear Creek Gremlins 6 and the Kegel Black Knights nothing. Gremlins 6 runs on 9 hits. A couple of the big ones in that last inning, the double by Evans, the homer by Redemar. Kegel Black Knights no runs on 4 hits and 1 error. So the Gremlins do advance. Now 4 undefeated teams in that winner's bracket. Hill United, JDT First Energy, the Northeast Drillers, and these Bear Creek Gremlins. We'll see them back tomorrow at noon. We're going to close up shop here. More great action on tap all weekend long. Check the website, Softball Premier TV, at YouTube.
I look up to 3 women actually, Kat Osterman, Amy Dill Bradford, and Megan Denny White.
One person I looked up to is Jocelyn Allo.
It would be Jordy Bogg.
Someone I look up to in softball is Aaliyah Andrews. I really look up to Erin Koffel.
Lisa Fernandez.
A woman in sports I look up to is Sis Bates. I think Odyssey Alexander is a big one because of her demeanor, just the way she carries herself on the mound,
Because of the way she plays her game.
When I was 6 years old and decided to start pitching, she's who I look up to and still look up to till this day.
I've been a fan of hers since I was really young. I just really like how she plays the game.
I know she probably had a lot of people that doubted her. There's a lot of people that have doubted me, and she pushed through and succeeded. Just very determined to do amazing in what she does.
She's really paved the way for young girls in Hawaii to have that dream to be here, and that's really helped me and pushed me. Because she shows the value of how the outfield is just as important as infield. It inspires me to be energetic and have passion about the game.
It gives me motivation that if I put my mind to do something that I can do it.
Because I strive to be like a leader like her.
I love how much range she has, and I just love like her energy and the way she's allowed others to play with that kind of energy.